Hello folks, my name is Jenna from Golden State Times. Welcome back to the newsroom, and today I have a breaking international story. This one comes courtesy of goldenstatetimes.com. Again, that's www.goldenstatetimes.com. And it says, Saudi Arabia slams Biden for releasing oil reserves. Saudi prince says Joe is attempting to manipulate the market. You heard it right, folks. This comes courtesy of goldenstatetimes.com. And it says, Saudi Arabia's energy minister on Tuesday blasted the release of emergency oil stocks as an attempt to manipulate the market. The latest apparent spat between Washington and Saudi Arabia over oil production. It says that Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman told an investor conference in the Saudi capital, quote, people are depleting their emergency stocks. In other words, the United States, or they have already depleted it, meaning the United States once again, used it as a mechanism to manipulate the markets while its profound purpose was to mitigate shortage of supply. So pretty much without naming, he is claiming that Biden depleted his emergency stocks in order to manipulate the market and make it seem like the price of gas is going down. But he says it is nothing but a mirage. It's false. He went on to say, however, it is my profound duty to make it clear to the world that losing emergency stock may become painful in the months to come. Prince Abdulaziz did not single out the United States in his comments by name about emergency stocks, but last week, Joe Biden announced that he was putting the final 15 million barrels on the market from a record release of U.S. strategic reserves. Now, 15 million barrels. Do you know how useless that is? The United States uses 10 million barrels a day. A day. And he released 15. That is a day and a half worth of oil. 1 day and a half. That's how stupid this guy is. The complete release was 180 million barrels that he authorized in spring in response to price hikes linked to what Biden called Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which was false. 180 million barrels, 18 days worth of oil. 18. It also comes on the heels of the decision by OPEC Plus to cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day starting in November. Starting in November. It says that OPEC Plus's decision comes weeks ahead of the U.S. congressional election in the United States and has drawn intense criticism from the White House, which has said it amounted to aligning with Russia in the Ukraine war. Because that's all we need. We need to keep pointing fingers. And we need to continue pissing people off because that's going to help us, right? And the only reason that Biden is attempting, or is not just attempting, but he is manipulating the market, is to make it seem that Democrat policies is lowering the price of gasoline, which is false. Because just wait until the November election passes and see what happens. Optics, folks. It's all about optics. Prince Abdulaziz pushed back against that assessment at his speech on Tuesday. And he said in front of the audience, I keep listening. Are you with us or against us? The United States always pointing fingers. Is there any room for? We are for Saudi Arabia and for the Saudi Arabian people. It goes on to say that when asked about getting a decades-old partnership between Riyadh and Washington back on track, he said, quote, I think we as Saudi Arabia decided to be the mature people and let the dice fall where they may. So we're pretty much on our own, is what he's trying to say, meaning the United States. In Washington, State Department spokesperson Ned Price said that he will not respond directly to the prince, but that the release from the strategic reserves was part of Biden's effort to meet demand. For 18 days. 18 days. Price told reporters at a State Department press conference, we're doing everything we can to see to it that supply is adequate for demand. Now, back to the conference that's going on right now in Riyadh, Saudi Investment Minister Khalid Al-Falih described the dust-up between the United States and Saudi Arabia as unwarranted and temporary. And he said in a statement, quote, if you look at the relationship with the people side, the corporate side, and the education system, you look at our institutions working together, we are very close, and we will get over this recent spat that I think was unwarranted. So right now, hundreds of CEOs and finance moguls are in Riyadh for a 3-day future investment initiative called Davos in the Desert. Now, a lot of people from different countries, different governments, delegations from different governments were invited, along with thousands of CEOs from all over the world. But the only delegation that was not invited was the United States. Saudi Arabia doesn't want anybody from the Biden administration there. Saudi Arabia did not want Biden at that event. No one from his administration was invited. Instead, they invited over 400 American CEOs to that event. Now, when the price of gas goes up above $8, $6 in small towns, just note and just know that is all Biden's fault. It's 100% Biden's fault. He went to Saudi Arabia to try to make a deal. He couldn't do it because he's useless. He tried to make a deal with other people on behalf of the United States, meaning France. He couldn't make a deal because he's useless. He tried to release from the strategic reserves, but only enough for 18 days because he is, again, useless. And now he just released a final 15 million barrels that is only going to last us a day and a half because he's useless. 2 million barrels less starting November. Just in a few days. And guess where they're going to take those 2 million from? What they send to the United States. We get 25%, or between 21 to 25% of our oil from Saudi Arabia. The rest of the oil that we get is from Canada that comes from Russia. So we don't get it directly from Russia. We get it from Russia through Canada. But between 21 to 25% comes directly from Saudi Arabia. But guess what? Now we're going to get 2 million barrels less, which is going to cause a massive strain on our economy, oil prices, shortage of gasoline that might be coming in the future. And no one is to blame except Joe Biden. He couldn't deal with the Saudis the way that Trump dealt with them. The Saudis tried to pull this kind of crap back in 2017. And it only took one trip from Trump to put him back in line, to show them who was boss, and to show them that the United States does not play any games. But with the weak, quote unquote, leader that we have today, meaning Biden, they tell him jump, and Biden says, how high, master? Because that's how it is with Biden. Not only with Saudi Arabia, but also with China, with Iran. And now it's going to be with Venezuela. Because when he can't get enough oil from Saudi Arabia, he's going to go on his hands and knees crawling to Saudi Arabia. He's going to go up to the leader of Venezuela. Well, he's going to do the same thing to Saudi Arabia, to be honest with you, but to Venezuela. He's going to go on his hands and knees to Venezuela, to the dictator in Venezuela, bow down his head and say, please give us some of your oil. We'll take off embargoes. We'll take off tariffs. We'll do whatever you want. Please give us your oil. He's going to do that in Venezuela. He's going to do that in other places in South America. He's going to do it with Iran. Just a matter of time. But let us know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comment section below. Do you think it's a good idea to piss off the Saudis right now that we're not getting any oil from Russia because of the whole Ukraine-Russia BS going on? Let us know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comment section below. But that is what's happening, folks. This is all Biden's fault. And when gas reaches $8 a gallon in big cities and $6 a gallon in small ones, just remember, it was all Biden's fault. And don't allow any Democrat or any liberal to tell you otherwise. Because this type of situation could have only been done by Biden or another Democrat, but most definitely Biden. So if you guys found this report informative, click the thumbs up button, share the video on social media. Don't forget to subscribe and also visit our website, goldenstatetimes.com. Again, that's www.goldenstatetimes.com. Thank you so much, folks, and we'll see you soon. Peace.